The notification chimed through Malice's neural implant at exactly 0800 Galactic Standard Time. Her crystalline fingers trembled as she read the assignment. Dormitory Block 7, Level 45, Room 7745B. Roommate species human. Name, Kanat. A human? Malice whispered, her translucent blue skin flickering with nervous bioluminescence. The other Zephyrian students in the transport bay turned their elongated heads toward her, their own skin patterns shifting to curious amber hues. Her sister Velis should have been here instead. Velis, with her perfect academic scores and diplomatic training, would have known how to handle a human roommate. But when the Galactic University lottery results came through, their parents had made a desperate decision. Velis was needed at home for the negotiations with the mining consortium, and Malice, awkward, bookish Malice, was sent in her place with falsified identification. The Celestial Academy's dormitories stretched endlessly above the cloud cities of Nexus Prime, each level housing different species from across the galaxy. Humans had only recently been admitted to the prestigious university, after their surprising victory in the Kepler conflict had earned them grudging respect from the Galactic Council. Malice found room 7745B after getting lost 3 times in the maze-like corridors. The door slid open with a soft hiss, revealing a human female sitting cross-legged on the floor, surrounded by what appeared to be primitive tools and metal components. "You must be Malice," the human said without looking up, her hands continuing to work on some kind of mechanical device. "I'm Kanat. Hope you don't mind the mess. I'm trying to fix the atmospheric recycler before it breaks down completely." Malice stared in fascination. Kanat had dark hair pulled back in a practical style, and her brown skin was marked with small scars that spoke of a lifetime of hands-on work. Unlike the pristine environment Malice was accustomed to, Kanat's side of the room looked lived in, functional. "You're working on the life support system?" Malice asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Kanat finally looked up, flashing a grin that showed remarkably white teeth. "The maintenance request I filed 3 days ago is still pending approval. Meanwhile, the CO2 scrubbers are running at 60% efficiency." She held up an improvised tool made from what looked like eating utensils and wire. "Sometimes you've got to take matters into your own hands." Over the following days, Malice watched in growing amazement as Kanat tackled problem after problem that the dormitory's automated systems couldn't handle. When the food synthesizers produced nothing but flavorless protein paste for the entire 7th level, Kanat somehow convinced the Cathari exchange students to trade their excess hydroponic supplies for her jury-rigged entertainment system upgrades. "How do you do it?" Malice asked one evening as Kanat finished rewiring their room's lighting system to produce a warmer, more natural glow. "Do what?" "Fix everything. Make things work. The other species here, they wait for the proper authorities, file requests through channels, follow protocols." Malice's skin flickered with admiration. "But you just solve problems." Kanat laughed, settling cross-legged on her bed. "Maybe that's just what humans do. We're not the strongest species, not the smartest, don't have the best technology, but we're really, really good at making things work when they're not supposed to." The real test came during the 3rd week, when a massive power surge knocked out the environmental controls for their entire section of the dormitory. While other students huddled in their rooms waiting for emergency repairs, Kanat was already moving through the corridors, her improvised toolkit in hand. "The backup generators are online, but the distribution network is fried," she explained to the growing crowd of students who had begun following her. "We need to reroute power manually." Malice watched as her human roommate organized students from a dozen different species into work teams. The proud Altarian engineers took orders from a human without question. The methodical Centauri technicians found themselves adapting Kanat's creative shortcuts. Even the aloof ethereal collective seemed drawn to her decisive leadership. As the hours passed, Malice realized something profound was happening. Kanat wasn't just fixing their dormitory systems. She was showing the galaxy's future leaders what humans brought to the galactic community. Not superiority, but adaptability. Not dominance, but the stubborn refusal to accept that problems couldn't be solved. When the power finally came back online and the crowds dispersed, Malice found Kanat sitting alone in their room, looking exhausted but satisfied. "Thank you," Malice said quietly. "For what?" "For showing me what it means to be human." Malice's skin glowed with warm appreciation. My sister was supposed to be here, not me. I thought I was just a poor substitute, but maybe I needed to learn something only a human could teach. Kanat smiled. Maybe we're all just poor substitutes for who we're supposed to be. The trick is making it work anyway. As Malice prepared for sleep, she realized that the Galactic University lottery hadn't made a mistake. It had paired her with exactly the roommate she needed, not the one who would fit seamlessly into galactic society, but the one who would show her that the cracks in any system were just opportunities for someone clever and determined enough to make something better. And perhaps, Malice thought as her bioluminescence faded to a contented deep blue, that was the most human lesson of all.